So, are you guys ready to see the device that I got? I mean, you obviously, most of you probably guessed that it was a camera. But which camera am I getting? Now that's the question. I got myself a Nikon camera, and it's a camera that is a high-end camera. Paid a lot of money for it. It's a camera that without the lens is worth $5,000. So we're going to take a look at which camera I got, and I'm going to talk to you about the amazing specs of that camera and a lot of new options that this camera has, definitely as compared to the one I'm using now, which is a DSLR Nikon D3400. Now, we're going to talk about the differences of these two cameras. It's nothing comparable. Wait till you see it. Now listen, I'm using 24 megapixels for the telescope, the DSLR that's at the back of the telescope right now, the CGXL 14-inch telescope, which is a DSLR D3400 camera. Listen, it was under $1,000, and that's why I wanted to get it, as I had already paid enough for the extra options and the taxes on the telescope, but we're still able to go DSLR, you know, and get some nice shots. All the research I've done so far was done with the DSLR D3400 link. But now, we're going to go see. So, I went to get a Nikon D850. That's right. That's what I went to get, guys. The Nikon D850. So we're talking, and we'll see it in detail. We're going to do the unboxing together. I'll try to make the unboxing quick, and I will have another video on more of the details once I get into this camera, but I'm going to show it to you all right now because I'm sure you're just as excited as me to know what I bought. This camera cost me $5,000, and I went for a personal bank loan this morning because I'm depending on this to help attract even more people for the research, as this will clarify a lot of the research. I'm going to add the major new devices of monitors that I got. You know, it cost a lot of money, but what's going to happen is that the images I'm going to be able to show you guys are precise and clear images. We're already looking at precise and clear images, but the thing is, people really want to see the surface without that haze. Now, that's the thing. We can't eliminate the fact that there is a haze on the surface. Let's not forget, there's an absolute haze down there. Whether it's atmosphere, whether it's clouds, whether it's mining, there's definitely a haze down on the surface. So, let's go take a look at this D850 from Nikon. Well, I hope the audio is okay, guys, because I am walking around different distances around the camera, but I want to, you know, bring you guys around the house and show you guys a couple of new functions and different devices and how I was doing this before and how we're going to be doing this. So this is a telescope. This is the optical tube. It's just the head. The length of this, the straight length of this is 39 inches, almost a bit more than a meter stick. This is the DSLR D3400, which is a 24 megapixel camera. It's a very good camera. You press on the button here once the lens is off, and when you press on here, the image projected at the back is now what the telescope is showing. A very simple telescope. I have two mirror locks on this, and this is for transportation, guys. I have two long screws that can lock the mirrors if I do any transportation, so that's another cool option to have. And here we have the focus. That's all we have. We don't even have a zoom on a telescope. It's done through programming and editing, or some do it with many ways to do it. Some use a solar imager, you know. So that's what it looks like, the optical tube. And just the optical tube itself is many thousands of dollars. Guys, with the D850 Nikon camera that I just got, I want to talk to you about something. This one here, the Nikon, and most cameras use Bluetooth, you know, for the Wi-Fi-like inversion of photos into other devices. Well, this one uses a snap bridge, so you guys can look that up online if you want to, and you're interested in buying this camera. The the D850 Nikon camera, 46 megapixels. If you want to use the camera and transfer the photos you are taking onto your telephone or other devices, you can do that with a snap bridge. And that is the program that they talk about and that I have here with this camera, which I probably won't be using, but I know a lot of people do use the phones and do want to transfer the images, so the information is all in the user manual. And save yourself the Nikon D850 manual, guys, is a very, very thick manual books, and there's a lot of things you can do because the D850 has the raw file format, and there's so much you can do with that. There's enough on this camera for the professional to get lost into, that I guarantee it. It's good for many scenes and fields to be able to take photos, either for nature, because of the tilt screen that I'll show you guys later. It has a tilt screen, so you can actually, you know, when you're taking pictures of nature, often you lie down on the ground, and instead of having to bend your head and hurt your neck to look at the monitor, you can flip the monitor up and you know, be over top and have less of a backache and probably more ease of taking pictures. So let's go see the camera in detail. And now we're going to take a look at the D850 camera. I can't wait to take a look at this. I want to see what's inside of that box. Let's zoom out a little bit. So let's take a look. I really can't wait. Take a look inside this box. Yeah, wow. This is pretty cool. The feature here of the plug I want to show you guys. Check it out. There. It's a connection here to be able to recharge the battery that sits in here. It's a big battery, guys. Now here's the thing. I took the big battery pack. If you take the big battery pack, you get 9 frames per second on each natural shot, as to the 7 frames per second, which is already amazingly good. And with this camera, you gain 1 f-stop. So 1 whole stop. You'll see later on, I'll explain that. So there's the charger. Let's go through it quick. A nice sized battery, by the way. Give you an idea, lithium battery. It's a heavy battery. It's a good sized battery. That's the battery. Obviously, and this is cool, this one comes with a wire, so you can also transfer your photos through, 1, the SD card. 2, I'm going to show you another way of transferring it. There's a special, unique slot in this camera that you can get even better quality. This, I mean, there's so many features, which I will talk about. So yeah, to transfer your photos onto your computer, that's pretty cool. Just a regular strap. There we go. So let's take a look at the camera, right? That's what we're all anxious for. Wow. Okay, it weighs a ton, first of all. Take a look at it. Let's take a look at it. Wow. Okay. To give you an idea of the size, we're going to compare it later on anyways with the other DSLR. 17, I don't know how big this is, the viewfinder, but this is a lot bigger, so that's pretty cool. You don't have to get so close. And here, what I really love, guys, check it out. It's the swivel, okay? So, you know, when the telescope is downward, upwards like this, okay, I can swivel down this so I don't have to hurt my back so much and bend over so much to take a look. There's the swivel, really unique, and it can come out like you want it. Put it the way you want it, so you know you have access to move the camera the way you want. You don't have to lie down in the grass. You can just put the camera down and look from here, because it goes completely upwards and completely downwards. So that goes back in there. That's a unique feature to this camera. This is the control panel. I'm not going to talk about all the features right now, but I am going to talk about at least 10 or 15 quick features and things that this camera has amongst 46 megapixels, guys. So this is unique. So if you take this with the lens, you're going to pay about 7,000-8,000 Canadian dollars, probably 6,000 something US. And let me tell you, it is one beautiful camera. It's a very big camera, pretty large camera. Now we're pretty close, so I'll zoom out and get a better image of it, and we'll see what it looks like at the back of the telescope, guys. Obviously, you're going to need to properly clean your lens, and you may be wondering what you can use to clean your lens. Don't use water. They say not to use soap, obviously, because, you know, the lenses and the granules in the soap is definitely going to scratch glass. I wouldn't even take the chance to, to damage the glass. But here for $10, I ordered this, and this is stuff, special liquid with a special rag and Q-tips. And my favorite tool is with the air and this brush that I keep in a sealed container to take off abrasions or dust. Because when you use a rag, even if it's a soft rag, unless it's one like this that has no hair on it or anything, you know what I mean? It has to be a rag that you're not going to get lint and stuff coming off. So, a little different. Wow. Check it out, guys. Isn't it amazing? This is a beautiful camera. Nice big camera. Really digging this tilt screen here. It can go completely downwards or completely upwards. Like that. They're taking the photo. Pretty cool. Goes back inside like this. So this is the thing I was talking to you about. You have the SD card that goes right here, but you also have that special, unique other card that is unique to this camera that makes the quality even better, even more clearly. There are too many specs for me to get into right now, but I will get in a full detailed video about the Nikon D850. Quickly, the Wi-Fi transfer. You can transfer, like I said, with that program, your photos onto your telephone. 46 megapixels, 1080 120p. Okay, 120 frames per second. With the big battery, you get the 9 frames per second instead of the 7 frames per second with one natural shot. You can go as far as thousands of shots per second. I mean, this is amazing. 4K video. Wait till you see the videos, guys. Tilt screen, like I showed you. Illuminated buttons, guys, okay? Those of you that are sick of the flashlights at night, this is incredible. The illuminated buttons. Focus stacking. I'll get into that. Those of you who know what stacking is, means a lot better focus. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. It's going past, it's overcoming the sharpness limitations to go even sharper. There's a lot you can do. There's an in-camera 4K time-lapse that can go to 8K intervals and raw files. Those of you who don't know what raw files are, there's so much that can be done with the raw files. You can completely change the photo that you took. The ISO, over 120,000 ISO. One stop better with this camera, better dynamic range. And I'm going to leave it at that for now. Thanks for watching, guys. And this camera I'll be talking often about once I get to know it really well. And soon, maybe this week, obviously, if the weather permits it, we'll be bringing her outside.